Hello, everyone. Welcome to another useful noon hour. And today I have two guests with me from the Helping Hands. I have Stephanie and Julie, and they will introduce themselves to you and will explain more about their project. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, we can talk a little bit more, but I'm gonna pass it on to you, Stephanie, if you wanna start by introducing yourself.
Sure, thank you. So yes, my name is Stephanie, and I am originally from the Maritimes. I was born in St. John, New Brunswick, but I grew up near Ontario and moved away to the States for 15 years, where I met my husband, got married there, and then actually just moved back to New Brunswick almost 5 years ago from California. So it was a big change, yeah. Coming from West Coast, America to East Coast here in Canada. Big change, big kind of shock, but we have, come to love it here and love the community and the people, and just even really through this COVID experience that we're all going through, just seeing everybody come together and work together and learn of different organizations that are out there and people that are helping has been wonderful. So I'm excited to be here today and just to be able to share with you all.
That's great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And how do you feel like the difference between all the way like from California to New Brunswick? Like, I know you said you were born in New Brunswick, but still living and growing up in a different side of the world kind of thing. I'm sure there is lots of differences, but I'm sure St. John is the best.
Yes, the weather has definitely taken a long time to get used to. I lived in hot places in the States for 15 years, Las Vegas, Florida, and then California for the last 6 years. So the weather has been challenging, but I think I've adapted a little bit and I'm a little more used to the weather. So no, it's beautiful here and we do love it. We're finally, I think, settling in, and this is home now. So
we definitely love to have you. We're really lucky to have you. Yeah, no, for sure. And can you talk a little bit about your project? Like, Julie's here. If Julie wanna introduce yourself first. Oh, if you wanna unmute yourself.
Yeah, just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, I always do that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm Julie.
Not just me.
I have lived here pretty much all my life. I moved to Fredericton for a little while when I was in university, but otherwise have lived in St. John and surrounding areas. So I don't have a story like Steph's. But yeah, no, my husband and I own a small business in the city, and I've worked in nonprofits and things like that in the past, and know that there's a need definitely in our city. So that was one of the reasons why we wanted to help out and get involved in this.
That's great. What kind of a small business you guys have?
We own the escape room in St. John, Breakout.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Of course, yeah. We didn't know that.
Closed right now, unfortunately, but yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to reopen again soon.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely. No, we definitely appreciate you both for being here and being involved in such a great program. Like, can you, Stephanie or Julie, tell me how it all started? Who came up with the idea? How did it really start?
Sure, I'll share a little bit here. For a while, well, I didn't mention this, but I'm a registered nurse by trade. I haven't been able to work as a registered nurse in Canada yet because it's been pretty complicated being able to get a license here. And so I'm still actually working on that. So I do just quite a bit of volunteer work for various organizations. My husband is a pastor of Seventh-day Adventist Church, a few churches here in the area, and so actually back in October we spoke with United Way just asking, what are the needs in the community? How can we help? How can people get involved in their communities and just, benefit what's happening around them? And so we were in discussions with her, kind of seeing, how we could help. And then when all of this kind of happened, a couple months ago now, we just had a small group of people get together. And basically our question was, how can we help? What is the need right now? And so immediately back in March 20, we started what we called a call and delivery system. So we had a list of people that we knew that were elderly, that were shut-ins, people from the community. We were calling them every week just to check on them, see how they were doing, and see if they needed anything delivered to them. So that's how we started our delivery system. And so we would deliver their groceries. It was a learning process because, we started just on the fly. And so we had, one lady, she had wanted us to go to 3 different stores and, shop the flyers, all this thing. So, we sort of, along the way developed, a better plan and how we could implement that. And so that was our call and delivery system, and just put it out there to the community. United Way, put it out there. And so basically kind of servicing the areas, United Way said that there was kind of a little bit of a gap in service between Hampton and St. John. Sussex was well set up, St. John was well set up, and there was a little bit of a gap there. So we just said, okay, well, maybe we can fill that a little bit. And so we started that call and delivery service. And so from there, it kind of, in discussions, still with United Way, and then another ADRA Canada, their name stands for Adventist Disaster and Relief Agency. They were offering grant money for people that could specifically help during the COVID-19, and then United Way was as well. And so just in discussions with United Way and with other people in the community to see where the gaps were, we came up with doing the deliveries and then food boxes. I know we talked to YMCA in St. John a couple of weeks after we started our delivery service, and they were starting one as well. And so they called us just to see, hey, how did you guys do this? What things did you come up against? So we were able to kind of share some of our learning experiences with them, so they hopefully didn't have to repeat the same ones again. And so, that was good, just to be able to work with them and get them going, help them get going. And then, it's been a passion on my heart. I know Julia maybe will speak to this after as well, on my heart for a while, to be able to get healthy, local produce to people, no matter what their, income is or who they are, get it to everybody. Living in California for 5 years, or 6 years, that was one of the things I loved, was having access to fresh fruits and vegetables, pretty much all year long. You could go, to a farmer's market and it wasn't super expensive. You had that freshness even in most of your grocery stores. And so when I came here, it wasn't quite as readily available. And, I remember after I came here a couple of years, I paid $7 or $7.99, for a cauliflower, at the grocery store. Who can afford, or who wants to pay $7.99 for a cauliflower? But my husband really loves it. So, but it can be challenging for people. And so that's been one of my passions for a while, is just being able to get healthy produce to people and get it to everybody, make it accessible, and that it doesn't cost you a fortune. And so and you can stop me whenever if you have any questions, Lita, or I'll just keep on going here.
I have a question then. If that's the case, then can you talk a little bit more about how did you get in touch with farmers, is it, or certain farms here in Greater St. John, or is it further apart? How do they deliver it to you? What is it for them? Are they just also trying to help in the community? How are these little factors are playing a role in it.
Right. And so yeah, it was really just, how everything has kind of come together. It took us many weeks to actually get it going, but we just started making connections with people in the community and finding people that were doing similar things, but where was the gap that needed to be filled? And there was kind of a gap in this area of, there's a lot of, from what we understand, accessible free food out there. There's the food banks are well stocked up. So United Way said there's plenty of ways that, that people can get to the food banks, get the free food. But there's these people maybe that won't necessarily go to the food bank or haven't been to the food bank before, but maybe are struggling with their income, during COVID-19. And so,
do you know why people wouldn't, if they're struggling, like why wouldn't they go to the food bank? Is it transportation issue or different issues? Like why not concentrate on the food bank and that's it to start with?
Right. Well, they said that some people they're not used to having to go to a food bank, and so they won't.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of that stigma around it, or they're, they don't feel like, well, I have a little bit of money, so I don't want to take it from somebody that really needs it.
I don't deserve it, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't deserve it, and so I don't want to, take it away from somebody who actually needs it. But I still have a little bit of income, but I am struggling with my getting the normal food that I can, and then also with our schools being closed. That was another huge thing. Our schools being closed, so there were kids that were the breakfast meals or the lunch meals that the schools actually provided. And so we found actually another nonprofit organization in Sackville that was basically taking over the school lunch programs and breakfast programs for the schools. It was taking that over for them. And so in speaking just with United Way and some people, we did find a gentleman. His name is Dave Wolpin, and he used to own Creddles in Hampton, and he was doing food boxes for BB Kids. I'm sure most of you or a lot of you are familiar with BB Kids.
Yeah.
In St. John. So he was doing the food boxes for BB Kids. And Julie had actually, I had met him, several years ago playing badminton in Hampton, but Julie had known him a little bit more. And so she was able to contact him and just kind of see really work, what is he doing? Because he was also selling food boxes, and I think he sold them for $40 and $80 as well. And so where was the gap though of, if you're part of BB Kids, you get this free box, or, you can buy this $80 box. And so we kind of came up with a little bit of an in-between service to offer for people. And so we do actually get all of our food boxes from Dave. He's already putting food boxes together. So we're like, let's just partner with him. Why try to reinvent the wheel? Let's just partner with him. And so he actually provides us with our food boxes. He gets, most of it we are actually able to get local, but he already has connections. He's got his own little farm business that he does, and he's already got a lot of connections and a lot of where he already orders food from local farmers. So when I say local, pretty much PEI, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, the Maritimes is what we try to stick to. And then there are a few things, that we do put in the boxes that aren't necessarily local. I know last time we had oats and organic dates and cucumbers, just to give a little more variety, because, we do live in New Brunswick, Canada, and so our variety so far, is a little bit limited, and so people like a little bit of variety. So we do try to stick to mostly local, but then we do put a few things in there that is not local. So what we created and came up with was, we have these food boxes, mostly local produce, and there are $50 value box that we get of food. You can purchase them for $50, and then $10 of that goes toward helping someone that can't afford it. So if you can pay $50, we offer them for $50. And then it also goes to help the service. If you can only pay half price, then we sell it at half price, $25. And then we also say, if the cost is still an issue for you and you're still struggling with the cost, go ahead and contact us. So then they contact our email address. And I'm sure maybe at the end here, we'll give all the contact information, but they email us, just say, you know, a little bit of who they are and that they need a free box. And we get them connected and we make sure that they get a free box of food. And so it's kind of that 3 tiers there that we offer, just really depending on what your need is. Right now, we're able to do this because we did receive some grant money from United Way and from ADRA Canada, from the Maritime Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Church as well. And so we're able to offer that to people, but people have been very generous as well. And sometimes we'll get people that say, I want to purchase a $50 box, but I don't want it for myself. I want you to, you know, to give it to somebody that needs it. And so
awesome. Yeah. So you and Julie have been participating in this. Julie, can you give us a little bit more details about these boxes? Like, I don't think you can tell us exactly what's in each box, kind of thing, because it's different, right? It depends on the market and the farmers and you know, the suppliers. But the boxes themselves, like the options, sorry, themselves, like each option is exactly the same container but different price tag. Like if I can't afford the 50, am I gonna if I buy the 25, I'm gonna get less kind of? Nope. No, it's the same exact one,
same boxes. Yeah. So yeah, so basically it's $50 worth of food or more, and it's the same box that goes to everybody. So, and when we choose, Steph's usually the one that chooses the food. I'm doing more of the coordinating, so like making the forms and updating the website stuff and doing those type of things, helping with the Facebook page. And then Steph's doing the contact with, I helped connect Steph and Dave because before we had started thinking of doing this, I had ordered a box from Dave of the ones he was selling. And it was, you know, full of really good food. And so
and you felt it was worth $50.
Yeah. So when we started talking about it, I said, you know, like Steph said, why reinvent the wheel and pack it on our own and have to do more volunteer hours? How about we get our volunteers instead to start getting the word out to people that we could do this, and for deliveries and doing things like that, because there's a lot of people who can't afford it. There's a lot of people who don't have transportation to pick it up. So who maybe can afford a little bit, but can't afford it all. Especially right now, there are people who have reduced income, but they don't necessarily frequent they don't go to food banks. So, and they're making some money and they feel like, if I'm making some money, I shouldn't be using the food bank, but, you know, they might not have enough money to be able to get $50 of fresh produce because, you know, vegetables and fruits can be expensive. So, you know, that was why we thought doing this would be helpful.
Can people choose what's in the box? Like, let's say I love cauliflower, for example, just an example Stephanie mentioned, but I mean, maybe someone doesn't. Would they say, I don't want this, can I have that? Or it's just like a surprise every time kind of thing?
Not yet. I don't know if we'll get to that later. Right now, it's always the same. And it's not necessarily a surprise. Like, we put out a list when we're asking people to order of what the food is in general. And then if they want more specific details on how much. So we're just about to update the order form and release it today for the ones that will be delivered next week. You know, we always have things in it like apples, potatoes, carrots, the stuff that you end up using in a lot of different meals and you will use for 100% in 2 weeks.
There must be someone in the family who likes it for sure. Yeah,
exactly. Somebody must like it, or you can put it in stew or whatever. Our last box had a fair bit of root vegetables. And there's some more things this week that are coming that are kind of more like greens and different things like that. And the great thing is, even for me, so you know, I grew up and we only had like a specific list of vegetables, you know, like we didn't eat celery root, but last week in the box there was celery root in the box. So Steph is doing the work of gathering recipes for what of things you can do with the stuff that's in the box. And
oh, that's right, the recipes. Yeah, you guys offer recipes as well.
Yeah, like there was a sauteed veggies one and a apple salad one, like to instead of just eating the apples, but you can make a salad with them. And so Steph is doing that, which I mean, I've been friends with Steph for a couple of years now, but I'm loving getting her recipes because I know she eats healthier than I do. And so it's giving us more you know, more things to play around with and more recipes to make for the family. So, and to use some of the stuff. So, and then last night my husband made we were like, what are we gonna do with all these sweet potatoes? We have so many sweet potatoes. So he made sweet potato, and he threw in some of the parsnips and he just roasted them all in the oven. And it was delicious. And I never would have bought parsnips, but they were like a really nice addition. Oh, and with carrots. So there was carrots in there too. But it was a super nice addition. He just kind of sprinkled some, you know, some Italian seasoning kind of on top. And yeah, so it's nice to be able to experiment with some things that are in the box and get introduced to some new things that you might not necessarily.
That's great. So basically it is really not just for people who are struggling now, even for people who want to eat healthy, like you mentioned. Even if you can afford it, that's fine. Just, you know, I guess I can say part A is you're supporting locals, local farmers and all that. And the second thing is you're eating healthy. You're forcing yourself, like you said, your husband did this, you know, a new thing. If you didn't have all these extra vegetables, you would have not thought about it, I guess. So to try something new.
Well, and instead of, you know, buying fries or at the grocery store, why buy fries if we have all these potatoes and sweet potatoes at home? Let's just figure out what we can do with the stuff that we have, and it's healthier for you.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so, and that's the thing, like I can afford to buy it, so I can spend the $50, but I know $10 of my 50, at least $10 of my 50, potentially more, is going towards helping buy a box for somebody else who can't afford it, or to discount a box for somebody. So you know, statistically, we've got about 40% of people who have ordered the boxes are buying them at full price. And then the rest of the boxes are either free or discounted boxes.
That's
so
great.
You know, 60% of them were able to do that. And we did get a little bit of funding, like Stephanie had said, to be able to help go towards be able to offer free delivery to people who need it. So we can deliver those boxes so that we can use that to help pay a little bit of gas mileage for the volunteers that are delivering it. So it's all volunteer hours. No one's getting paid, but they at least can get their gas kind of reimbursed. And
that's nice.
We had deliveries all over St. John and some out in KV last week. So hopefully we'll keep expanding that.
And I know with the helping hands with you guys and the St. John Newcomer Center with us, we just partnered like not long ago, and we're helping with the delivery parts. That's our role there. Like we're getting the requests and applications from people and doing the delivery, right?
Yeah. The St. John Newcomer Center, they've been very helpful. You know, they did, I think you guys did about 8 deliveries, you know, last time to St. John. And it was wonderful just to be able to, you know, call you up and say, can you help us with this? And so that was great. And then, of course, you know, getting the word out. Because, you know, we found that is a challenge. And I think everybody has that challenge of, you know, these services are available, but how do we let people know that they're available? How do we get the word out? And so I think that partnership comes into play with all the organizations that are out there. You know, we're all one big team. We're all trying to service, you know, the same area. And so it's been great just to work with other organizations and work together just with getting the word out and helping, you know, each other when we can. And that's just been another huge aspect of this, is like those that are sponsoring, those that are partnering, and our volunteers. You know, our volunteers have been so amazing through this and just helping everything come together. And I have a lady that helps me with the recipes that when I get the list, you know, I send it out to her, and she does up some of the recipes for me, you know, sends them to me. We have a couple ladies that write out, actually everybody in their box gets a personal card, a handwritten card, you know, just say, you know, we hope this
That's so
box,
sweet.
you know, yeah, and it's all, you know, it's written by volunteers, and they, you know, stuff the little bags. Everybody gets a little baggie in theirs. And, you know, so the volunteers have just been just wonderful and such a help. And, you know, we couldn't do it without all of our volunteers. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I can say the same here. Even with us at the center, like we have many programs would not even be alive without the volunteers. It's amazing, and that's the beautiful thing about, you know, St. John or New Brunswick and the Maritimes, and it just the spirit that people have is absolutely great. So you mentioned the areas that you deliver to. So you go like Greater St. John, like I'm gonna assume like Grand Bay, Quispamsis, Rosse, Hampton. I think you mentioned as well. Like how far do you go?
To Appahock was kind of the because we figured that there's lots of organizations in Sussex helping Sussex area. So we kind of said like up to Appahock area if there's a need. We didn't have anybody. We had somebody from Appahock that ordered last week, but they were coming in for a doctor's appointment, so they picked up their own box. But we haven't any deliveries out there yet. But we would deliver out there if we needed to.
Okay, so really encourage people to fill out a form. Like your procedure is, there is a form, and we did share this information in our social media, and I did share it with my clients as well through email. Like I know many families, like you mentioned, not necessarily, you know, they're desperate, but they are struggling, especially at this time. It's really trying time. So they just go ahead and fill out the form. I guess Julie's gonna receive the form and organize all the orders. Like you order according to the number of requests.
Well, actually, you go ahead, Julie.
No, I was just gonna say Steph's had to usually has to give estimates before, like fairly early before, so which we are just kind of getting into the role of this. So she's going to have to give an estimate on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Friday? For Friday. So of this week for our deliveries that we're going to be doing like next Wednesday. So we have to get orders in further in advance than we thought that we would need to in order to be able to kind of guesstimate. But then we would still be able to add on after that. But
so with order today, like I'm getting my order when in like next week. But that's not.
So we give. So we give the orders every other week. We do a food box order. And so, you know, last week was our food box order, which, as Julie was saying, this has kind of been a growing and learning. The first time we, you know, put in our orders, we just said, we had no advertising out there yet. We had no pre-orders. We just said, let's order 50 boxes and see what we can do. We put that advertising out on Monday evening, I think, and the first delivery and pickup was Wednesday, and I think in the first 24 hours we had 36 boxes already, you know, sold or spoken for, and you know by that Wednesday we had all 50 that were, you know, sold or spoken for, and so it just went like we just saw that
that was without advertisement.
That was with advertising. We said, let's get 50. We put it out there, you know, and the next day, you know, 2 days later, we had pretty much sold all of our 50 boxes. And so we just really saw that it is a need and people are looking forward to it. We had a lot of really positive feedback. And so, and so that was kind of a jump start. And now, so the order form is up there online already. I don't know when you want us to give you our Facebook page and our website. But you can go to our Facebook page, which is Helping Hands, and you see the logo on your screen. So you'll see that little logo come up. Or you can go to our website, which is stjohnsda.ca/helpinghands. And you can probably find this on the St. John Newcomers website as well.
We're posting this also at the end. So,
and so you could go there, you just fill out the form, and then we get that. We give times on there. It's a very specific form, and so you'll tell how you are able to pay. You could pay by e-transfer. If you pick up your order, you can pay by cash, debit, credit. Of course, if you're getting a free box, you go ahead and email us. If you need a free box, we will send you an email back confirming that we have the free box for you. And then it tells you very specific times on your order form. You know, like this next week, we're going to do, and actually Breakout, because they're not able to open, you know, Breakout St. John has been so gracious enough to let us use their facility for a pickup station, you know, for right now. And so we're thankful for that. And so
awesome. I was just going to ask you, where is the pickup
The
location
pickup.
if someone, you want to pick it up themselves?
Yeah, so at Breakout St.
Okay.
John is right across there from the movie theaters in Parkway Mall. And so that's next Wednesday evening. You know, you can pick up, or we deliver during that time, or you can pick up Thursday from 10 to 12, and then we deliver Thursday from 12 to 3. And so we're just kind of learning to adjust those times, and but it'll be, you know, very clearly written on the order form, you know, if you're picking up or if you're having it delivered. And so it can be very specific on there. And so, yeah, if you go to our Facebook page, or to even St. John Newcomers page, or our website, you can find the order form there, and then it gives some pretty good details. And we are excited this week. You know, we do have some new things that are coming in our boxes, as Julie mentioned. And so you'll have recipes. They'll always have recipes. You can choose if you want them just digitally, or if you want them hard copy in your box. And then we also link you to a YouTube channel that we just started that's going to have actually some short, simple cooking demonstration videos on there, and, you know, short little cooking tips for you, short tips on the fruits and veggies that you have in your box. So yeah, just
That's
trying
great.
to
When are you going to have that?
well, we do have that up and running already. So
Oh.
everybody that got a box had that written, had it written in there, the YouTube channel. I think it's just Helping Hands in the Community is our
Okay.
YouTube channel. And yeah, so there's, you know, I think we have about 5 or 6 videos on there now. We're just getting started, but you'll usually be related to the box that you just received. So
Wow, you girls are busy.
we've been busy, yes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And are you also looking for volunteers? Like sometimes I honestly get emails from clients, they want to volunteer, you know, similar atmosphere, similar things, like even delivery or what have you. If you're open to volunteers, like, do I just send, like, people can, I guess, reach out to me and I'll send them to you, or they can reach out to you directly if you're looking for volunteers?
Yeah, volunteers are always great. We actually have several people just, you know, from the community that said, you know, can we help with this? And so we do have that email address. If you could email, our email address is helpinghands@stjohnsda.ca. You could send that email, or you could just email St. John Newcomer Center directly, you know, Lena, and then you can email us and say we have this volunteer. We are actually just rolling out this week a volunteer form that everybody will have to, of course, you know, go through and sign and just adhere to certain things, and, you know, a few instructions, of course, for how we do this while being safe and maintaining social distance. And so every drop off is very safe. There's no interaction between the deliverer and the receiver. And so it's just, yeah, we're keeping with all, you know, compliant with everything that we need to. And so people will just be, you know, they'll be instructed on that a little bit. But yeah, we're looking, definitely always willing to take volunteers.
And you mentioned earlier that you guys called in October to ask if there is anything you can do. Like, why October? Like October, everything was great. You just, both of you, like, you thought like you wanted to do something more in the community at that time. What was the reason for it?
Yeah, that was pretty much exactly it. My husband and I know a few people that, you know, Ross Galbraith, he actually connected, he's a friend of ours, and he actually connected us with Wendy McDermott, who was one of the directors of United Way at that time. And so, yeah, we just went, and United Way seems to, they kind of, they're really good at just connecting all of us together, and that's what they're all about, is just connecting the community resources that are out there, and so there's not so many duplicating or people that aren't getting access to them. And so yeah, basically just went to her and said, how can we help? We are here, we actually live in Nowidjawak, and so a little bit outside of St. John, and then my husband really became involved in pastoring the church that's in St. John. And so it's like, just how can we help in our area and in our community, and what are the needs? So that's kind of where it started. Yes.
Wow. So when was Helping Hands born? What was the birth date of Helping Hands?
I'd say that March 20, where we got together and just said, let's start,
you have to do it. That's it. There is a need now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's, one of the things, you see is it kind of, when you have crisis situations or situations that comes up, you just really get to see the heart of people, and that there is a desire there to help. Sometimes we just don't know how or what's needed, but you just have to kind of jump out there and step in. And we've adjusted things as we go. This isn't really a need, but this is. And so you just kind of be flexible and adjust to what the needs are, and go from there.
That's awesome. And Julie, do you find yourselves like maybe when well, not maybe, things will get better, we don't know when, whenever they do, and hopefully soon, and you guys will open back up again, the breakouts, do you see yourself still continuing with the Helping Hands?
Yeah, I hope so. So, so we, like Steph said, we were asking before, the whole COVID thing happened, how we could help. So we talked to United Way. We also talked to Outflow, and we have different connections in the community. So we were already trying to see, how we could help in the community, where the best fit would be. So hopefully this is something that's a need and that we can continue to do into the future. I think that it's always going to be a need. I mean, just from, my husband's a teacher. I've worked in the school system. I've, when COVID stops and the government funding slows down a little bit and those type of things, there are still always going to be people who are in need, and also people who aren't in need, who don't know how to eat healthy, or who don't eat as healthy as they would love to eat, but might need a little bit of extra support. And so Absolutely. That's something that, we talk about eventually being able to start maybe doing prepared food boxes or prepared meals with healthy food options, so that, and the same type of thing. So somebody could buy
that would be awesome.
Yeah, and then someone could buy it full price, but a portion of that always goes towards being able to offer some of those for free to people in the community too. So, and maybe doing, like cooking classes and those type of things. So there's hopefully we'll be able to keep doing this forever.
That's great. Like, honestly, you guys, it was, really, a great thing for us to partner with you, because like you said, yes, we want to help everybody at this trying time, but at the same time, like in any time, there is always a need for the healthy food and healthy meats and meals. Sorry, and people are always busy, and you always say, okay, I'll just drop it today. I'll just eat whatever. I'll start tomorrow, and it's always tomorrow, and tomorrow seems like never comes. So hopefully, if we're going to get some of the good things that would come from this period of time with COVID, hopefully that is one of them, that people will get into a different habits and different lifestyle for sure. And that is a great help. Like, I know I'm ordering myself and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to recipes as well, and everything. Like, it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation for sure.
Yeah, it reminded me, we had an email come from a lady just really, thanking us for her box. And she said her 14-year-old daughter was just so excited to see these, a few new different things that she had never seen, like the celery root that Julie had mentioned. She went right away on the internet to see what they could make at home. And she said it was just really great, something, for her teenage daughter to be, to be excited about and to look forward to. And they said they're just excited to see what's in their next box. And so
there we go. It's even family connections.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, right? Just seeing, people be able to benefit from this service, and that it brings a little bit of joy, to people during this time. And so that's what's been awesome to be able to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I have a question, like you mentioned, Stephanie, you started by call and delivering, something like that. Can you explain more on that? Like, what do you mean? Like you mentioned you were calling people literally to check on them and asking how they're doing and if they need anything. Can you talk more about that?
Sure. We found actually that people appreciated that even more than the deliveries. We found that, those that were elderly or disabled or just, not able to get out. We had one man from the community. He called us and said, we of course asked if they would like to be on our weekly call list. And he said yes. He was able right now to get his food delivered for him, but he didn't know if these people were going to be able to continue it, and just that uncertainty, that a lot of people were having. And so he just appreciated having the call each week, just saying, hey, how you doing? You're still able to get all your things? We're thinking about you, and just knowing that someone is there, checking on you, and thinking of you, and available for this, service of the deliveries as well if needed. So, and we had, many volunteers for that volunteered to take, several people every week that they call, and you kind of, you get to kind of make a connection with these people, that maybe you didn't know before, or, you get to make a connection with them and develop more friendships, and people seem to really appreciate that aspect of it.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really, really great. I don't know how you came up with the idea. It makes you sometimes wonder, why didn't we have that even before, right? Kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. No, that's wonderful. Like, I know some communities, like Crescent Valley, they do something similar for just their own community. But I think doing it this way, and with the helping hands now on the picture, like, it opens lots of doors. And many people, they feel they can access this. It's not, it's doable kind of thing. Like, it's really amazing. And for you to continue even after, like that gentleman one was asking you, like, it is a legit question. That's what I asked Julie as well. Like, are you going to continue? It's always in the back of our minds that, with these kind of services that we're born during, this trying time, like, is it going to stop when things kind of go back to normal, whatever the definition of normal after this? But
right.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, really appreciate it.
And I think, as Julie said, it is something that we hope to continue. And to, it might kind of morph a little bit and change into looking a little bit differently. Like she said, actually preparing meals for people and delivering those. But we just kind of change with what the need is. And hopefully it is, something that we can continue for sure.
Awesome. And do you think the United Way and ADRA Canada would keep funding? Like, did you hear from them if this fund is for, a year or a month, or, there is restriction on it?
They did. I believe both of them, they wanted the funds to be used within the six months, to make sure it was, being used to help specifically during COVID. But both of them have, yes, said that there is, more funds available if it comes to the time where you do need that. So I think, both organizations, are willing to step up as well. And, when they see that it is the need there and that we can continue it on. And so that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Like, I think that's what the community want to hear as well. And I think there is a need, even if it's not financially. But I think even with financially, it is going to last for some time, just for eating healthy, for, family members, every single one, whether they're teenagers, kids, healthy adults, or seniors. Everyone needs to eat healthy. And we have to start from somewhere, and somehow, and at some time we really have to start, and hopefully that is the beginning.
That's right.
Awesome. Do you guys have any last word you wanna say before we end today? Like, that was honestly great. Like, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to be your customer and look at your recipes and all that. And I really, really hope we spread the word to lots of people, because it is a win-win situation for everyone. You're donating money, you're getting the use of this produce there. If you can, this is why you are there, to help the people who can't even pay for any boxes. So I mean, it's a win-win for everyone. There is something for every single person, for sure.
That's right. Yeah, we just want to make it available, like you said, to everyone. It's not restricted. At this point, we are a nonprofit, and so we recognize there are organizations out there similar to this, but it's their business, which is great as well. But yeah, at this point, we are focused on just making sure everybody has access to this and can receive it, and just can be benefited from the personal touch that's in it as well, from our volunteers and our recipes and our cooking demonstrations. And so we are excited. We hope that the word does get out there, and that people can order their food box, like you said, that will help somebody else, or get the half price one, or even get the free one, whatever the need is. And so, yeah, we're just excited. We want to thank you so much, the Newcomer Center, for doing this interview, for all that you guys do, and, what you do for the community and the resources that, and we just want to, be able to connect together. And so it's a great thing to be able to see just our city coming together and the people coming together. That's the movement that we want to continue on, even after COVID, as people coming together, sharing, supporting, and just continue that momentum on, for years to come. And so we're excited. We're excited for what is going to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. And thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much, Julie. We're honestly really proud to be partners with Helping Hands. And, I see this going to continue for a long time, as it is really needed. And we really thank you for your generosity, your time. It's amazing. Our community need people like you too. Thank you so much. And if anyone else also want to volunteer, just reach out to Stephanie or Julie or myself, and we will connect you. And if you have any more questions about the boxes, you're not still sure how it works with the form, you need help even filling out the form or anything like that, please reach out. This is why we're here, to help you out, and and connect you with the right people, I guess. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Helping Hands. And we definitely appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.